It's like Oklahoma weather. I feel like because of that snowstorm, it's bumped everything down like south of Dallas. Because normally all that hits above, like around Dallas area. But
Right.
who knows? Ready? All right. Today's practice. Again, it's a helmets practice. There's only so much you can do. Like I think these kids are pretty excited to get the pads on Saturday morning for the first time in a long time. So I think that's kind of where the mood is going to right now. Because right now it's just a lot of technical individual practices where there's a little bit of competition at the end, but they're quick whistles because there's no contact allowed right now. But you get into Saturday, I think it's everybody's excited to get it on. That's going to be the fun part. We got 3 team periods. They're going to be longer. We're going to cut down to individual. And we're going to compete. It's tough to always tell these kids to just kind of be patient through these first 2 practices because everybody's so excited to get out there and just throw the ball around and have some fun. But really the true work starts on Saturday. So I told them after practice, I like where this team's going. They're competing, but we've got to keep continuing to get better. We got to keep working on the little things. Too many pre and post snap penalties, which that was kind of the message last year. Like there's so many times where we said if we just start a play here and there and we don't beat ourselves, you're looking at a team that could be 6-6 or 8-4, just strictly based off of not beating ourselves and doing the little things right. It's not a game of perfection. It's not. There's going to be a lot of mistakes that happen, but you've got to be in that constant pursuit to try to be perfect, even though you're never going to obtain it. And that's kind of the expectation that we've got moving forward. Is we've got to not beat ourselves and put ourselves in position to close games out. And I think that just starts with us internally. And when you do that, I think we can win some more games. And they know that, and we put a lot of pride in it. And I think that the leadership is increasing. There's a lot more guys, talking, a lot more guys asking to reload plays, a lot more just, leadership in general. So that shows you that these kids are holding everybody accountable and doing the right things. So, but again, I think everybody's ready to get this thing kicked off Saturday and get the pads on, and that's when the true evaluations happen. So, question?
You mentioned a lot of leadership out there. You think that's because so many guys are coming back, it's kind of a byproduct of that? And who are some of the leaders you're seeing early on?
And if you remember, like last year, we brought in about 60 guys. And now that they didn't talk much last year because they were new guys, and they just kind of had to fill the whole situation out in the scenarios, and just they're new to this university and this place and how we do things, and now everybody's comfortable and they know their roles, and you're starting to see a lot more vocal guys. There's a lot of guys we've challenged too, like the DJ Masks of the world and Kevin Andersons who've been here for 2 years and have played. It's time for them to take ownership of this team and the defense, and you see DJ and Baby J and, the back end's talking more. Those linebackers are starting to speak up with Braden Stringer and Sione. You're even like Savion hasn't been practicing, which you guys will talk with him today, but he's always been a vocal guy for us, which has been great. Offensively, you're starting to see like the Silas Robinsons, the Russell Bakers, the Tate Heitmeyers. They're all trying to be a pretty cohesive group in that offensive line position, and they are vocal enough to talk to the team. Quarterbacks, they're always like T-Vit and Brady are always talking, because they're the quarterbacks. They're always going to have a voice at some point. But you're starting to see some of these guys start taking leadership roles in positive ways. The running back room's good. Brock Sturgis is a vocal guy that. When things are adversity's hitting and things are tough, they're going to talk it through and they'll work it out. So when I first got here, I didn't have very many guys speak, and last year was hit and miss because everybody was a brand new team and everybody was trying to fill each other out, and now you're starting to get a lot more vocal guys out there, which it takes a lot of pressure off of me. You don't have to talk all the time.
Coach, what are some of the main things that you're trying to accomplish with these first couple of practices?
It's really operation, and like your assignments, it's and a ton of technique, so there's a lot of new guys and there's 2 new coaches, just getting the language and just the familiarity of how they coach and how they do things. It's just kind of getting comfortable, acclimatization period before you put the pads on. But I want to eliminate those. We're doing some things with snap cadence, and we're changing it up to try to be more multiple, which is difficult, at the beginning, but it's going to make us better in the long run. So, we've got to work on having a complete discipline and not having those, pre-snap penalties that, always start us back like 1st and 15, or, you always want to be moving forward. So, really operation and communication and just, individual, continuity. So, that's kind of what you can really only do, make sure that we're in the right spots, doing the right things, communicating, and it looks like we can go out there and play. Saturday, now it's about finish and toughness and edge and a physical side of things that I think that we have to improve tremendously here. This is a tough game. You got to have tough people, and we need to increase our physicality across the board. So that's what happens when you put the pads on. But right now, it's just individual based stuff and making sure that we're in the right spots and communicating and making it as clean as possible.
With Patton, we're going to talk to him later, like you said. Him missing all last year. Yeah. Was how bad was that for this team?
That was tough.
What does he bring to y'all?
Like my first year here, he was one of our better D linemen. It's just, and he made a name for himself before I got here. And he's had a lot of adversity and bumps in the road. And there's been some tough conversations and tough times for him. And last year was extremely difficult because he loves this game a lot and he puts a lot into it. And to be sidelined and watch your brothers out there, playing, and him not being able to contribute, it really affected him, but he's an optimistic kid. Once you talk with him, he'll come back in and try to help in any way. But now he's not out there practicing, but he's out there with a helmet on. He's doing individual drills and not, in the team settings or anything of that nature. But it's just his presence out there. It's a big body type. I'm talking more from a leadership and just a presence standpoint. That was something that we missed. Obviously he's a big body that we need. That has been a good player here at Texas State before I got here and when my first year here. So he's going to be a dominant presence and add a ton of depth to the D-line. But the thing that we missed the most from him was just his presence and being around. And you got to give credit to that kid because he shows up every day and he works. He's one of the first ones in the building and the last ones leave, and puts a lot into this game. And just you love seeing these kids bounce back from injuries and adversity, and you wish the best for him. You hope that he has a great year for us because you see how much he puts into this program.
With McCann coming in, can you see him going more outside, Patton?
Yeah, and it again, also another thing that we get out of these practices is evaluations on what these guys can and can't do. So we put them in situations to see if they can do it. We had a million offensive line going today, but then you look at the D line. Nick McCann's playing nose, he's playing forward, he's playing 5, and he's playing a 3 technique and a 2 technique. We're moving him all around, just to see what he's capable of doing and what he's comfortable at. And you do the same thing with Nico and Deontay Washington. We have a pretty general idea of what Savion's capable of doing already. So you put these other guys in these situations to see if you can free him up a little bit. But if you got a guy that's a pretty dominant force at nose, that's going to free up some guys at the 4-eye, the 5 techniques.
What about Markevian Coleman? I know we're talking to him
Yeah,
too.
Bink.
He missed some time at the beginning of the year, came in middle of the year it seemed, and did some good things. What is he's been on this team a long time.
Yeah, he's one that's a leader too, and we're starting to get a lot more, speak up. But Binky, I love his leadership. He's in the leadership council. He's been one of our captains. Again, he's got a pretty unique story. He tore his ACL, came back quicker than most. Had to sit really the first 4 games of the season due to his injury, and ended up finishing it out for us. And there's kind of that unfinished business mentality for him, and he wanted to come back and be a part of the team. And we've challenged him to take on a leadership role, and I think he has. In terms of just he's the vet. He's probably one of the older guys and the most experienced guys in that room, and just to have that opportunity to have him run around, it's pretty good. And you can get multiple with him and play him all over the place because he's played a lot of football. You guys remember the Nicholls State game when we put him in when Belo went down. and he went out there and had a lot of tackles and and stepped up for us. So excited for that kid to be back.
How close do you think Savion is to getting back to 100%?
He's pretty close. He won't see him probably in spring, but the summertime is when he'll probably be released to go. I'm in no rush to get him back. We just want him to be healthy. We know what he's capable of doing. He doesn't need to prove anything to us because he's made plays for us in the past.
Is it a back issue? Is that the deal with Pat, right?
Yeah, he has a back issue. I don't know exactly what it was, but he had a minor back surgery and he's back. I don't know the technical terms of it all. Like, I can say it in layman's terms right now, but I think you guys would just laugh at it. Like,
I think someone told me, and then I regurgitated it as back issue, so I don't even know.
yeah, it's a back. Yeah, and he's good and he feels great. It's good seeing him out there just walking normal and running around. Because he was in some pain, previously.
We're also talking to Zach Spav today, I believe we
Mhm.
are, defense coordinator. Obviously, you know him very well, being your brother.
Never heard of him, man.
Some good continuity past going into 3 years, same DC and everything.
Yeah.
How important is that for this defense?
It's tremendous. I think it's continuity is so important in Group of Five. Because Group of Five, a lot of coaches, they're moving and they're leaving and they're going to different places. And you talk to like my agency and you just talk to coaches. The longer you can have a group of men together that are on the same page, it makes it so much easier. You're not trying to go into game one and figure out, can this guy be good in the box, or this coach, is he good on the field? They already have a great understanding of each other and what they're capable of doing. And you're going to lose a coach here and there, but like the main core of each side of our ball is back. These practices have ran so smooth. Like year one, I remember we were running around trying to figure out things, figure out where a jugs machine is, trying to figure out where to go drill the drill. Now, like with just the continuity of the coaching staff and everybody in here and the familiarity of everything runs more smooth and more efficient. And that's something that is very rare in the Group of Five, because there's always been a revolving door of coordinators, and especially in our league, it changes a lot. So it's good to have a group of guys still on the same page.
There you go. All right.
All right.
Thank you, Coach.